is KIC Radio.
Hello and welcome back to the South Bank podcast. I'm today's host, Jacob Jones, joined by the ever-present Cameron Gorman, and the guard amongst you may notice another guest. We are joined by, representing Sunderland, top four tiers, Jake Cooper.
How you doing, lads? You all right?
How is it to be on the South Bank podcast, Jake?
Yeah, it's great. I've been looking forward to this game just for my appearance on this podcast, to be honest.
And Cam, how have you been?
I'm feeling great. I will feel better if Wolves get a result at the weekend, but that's not looking likely, as I'm sure we'll get into.
Yeah, of course. We didn't have Wolves to spoil the weekend this time around, as it's been the international break. How have you been finding it, boys?
Boring.
Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah,
I didn't like
It's a lot less stressful.
Yeah, well, for us Wolves fans, I think we saved them now. But Jake's a Sunderland fan. I think you're probably waiting for the next game, excited for it. I mean, we can only dream of a time where that would have been the case. But it's been a great start for Sunderland this year, hasn't it?
Aye, very good. I mean, obviously you've experienced it as well. There's always that buzz when you get promoted. And I mean, even more so for us when we were so out the Premier League for so long. It was like, me personally, especially, like, I didn't really care what happened this year. It was just nice to be going to grounds like United, obviously the last game, and Chelsea and Liverpool instead of going to like Accrington Stanley and Gillingham. It's a nice change.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But Cam, for Wolves, it's been the opposite, hasn't it? It's been a dull, dismal start. Even though, you know how you look at it, unbeaten in the last 3 games in all competitions. So, how are you feeling coming out of this international break into the rest of the season? And it's 2 massive games to come back to, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely against 2 of the recently promoted teams. It's been quite a torrid start for us this year, as all our listeners will be well aware, and all other Wolves fans will be well aware. As far as odds go, the Optus supercomputer, quite interestingly, it's actually given Wolves a 33% chance of winning this fixture on Saturday, but Sunderland are by far the favourites, and apparently a draw is the least likely outcome. As far as the head-to-head goes, things also aren't really in our favour. Draw and a win for Sunderland in our last 2, although those are in the Championship. And in the Premier League, Wolves are actually unbeaten in their last 5 games against Sunderland. So hopefully that bodes for something.
There you go.
Yeah, we can hope, but obviously Wolves and Sunderland, our paths haven't crossed since 2018. Now, it's been a long separation between the 2 clubs. But Cam, I'm going to go to you first and we'll get the Sunderland perspective. What are your thoughts headed into Sunderland on the weekend? Obviously, haven't lost at the Stadium of Light yet, Sunderland, and it's going to be a rather tough place to go.
Yeah, Stadium of Light is just unbelievable atmosphere. Everyone knows what they're getting when they go there, as I'm sure Jake will be very happy to hear me admit. Obviously, that bounce from promotion is massive, and it really carries certain clubs over the line or not. And I think the difference between Sunderland and all the other recently promoted teams, including the last few seasons, is that Sunderland's success so far has been actually built on their defensive solidity, which has been the key to most teams' demise that are coming up from the Championship in recent years, which is why they've instantly fell back down. However, I actually agree with Matt Jarvis, who spoke midweek, and he said these are all must-win games now, and I agree with what he said. With these next 2 games, a minimum of at least 4 points, I think, is needed against Sunderland and Burnley. These are not teams we can afford to take a loss to in any regard. And whilst Sunderland is going to be a very tough place to go to, hopefully our experience counts for something, though I won't bank on anything.
Yeah, certainly agree with you there. But Jake, as much as it pains me to admit, as a Sunderland fan, you've got to be licking your lips looking at this fixture currently. I mean, is it anything less than a win, a disappointment for you on Saturday?
Well, I think you've got to have a bit of perspective, and I know I've had a good start, but we are a newly promoted team, and realistically 17th is the aim. So I don't think any game you can get like carried away and expect to win. I know we're favourites, and I think this is the first game this year we have been favourites, but I don't think the players should like take that into account, same as the fans. I don't think we should say this is an easy game, because as much as we are where we are and so are you, it's also an easy game for you as well as it is us, because we're a newly promoted team, like I said. So there's no easy games in the Prem, and I still think it'll be a tough one.
Yeah, well, I hope it is a tough one. just for our sake. But I just want a bit of perspective here. How do you expect Sunderland to line up on Saturday? Is it going to be similar to what we've seen in the early stages, or
Well,
that injuries and suspension is stopping that?
well, I think half our team's been injured over the international break, to be honest. Obviously, Diarra is out until December. He was out for the United game. Siddiqui, as his midfield partner, I think has got a slight knock as well, so it's unsure whether he'll be playing or not. And I've actually just read just before this, like an hour ago, that Alderate got subbed off with an injury, apparently. So that's not good either. So honestly,
That would be a big
apart
miss.
from the
Get in.
no, that's good, really good for you lot. But apart from obviously Roofs in goal, and then maybe Hume right back. But even that Roofs in goal is probably the only one I'm certain on, to be honest with you.
Yeah, obviously calm celebrations there. Obviously we don't have celebration in any player's injury. We're just happy that he might potentially be missing against
No, I
Wolves.
get that. He has been one of our standout players, especially. So it's a really good.
Won't act like injury troubles aren't hitting us either. Strand Larsen's still looking very doubtful with his Achilles injury for Saturday. I wouldn't mind seeing Tolu start. However, will Vitor even show the confidence in him? I feel like he won't, personally.
Yeah. I mean, and it's touch wood. Obviously, Larsen's set to start tonight for Norway in the absence of Erling Haaland. And obviously, Tolu also playing a massive, massive game for Nigeria tonight against Benin that decides whether they get to the even have a chance of getting to the World Cup or not. But Cam, you've already kind of alluded to it. How would you like to see Wolves line up on Saturday? How do you feel that Vitor Pereira will line up for this vital game?
Well, the last part you said is exactly the problem. Vitor Pereira, well, with him, you can guarantee that Hwang and Manetzi will be in that starting 11, which I'm not too sure about. Manetzi, I completely agree with. I think he's actually coming into his own for once. I think he's really hit a turning point in his Wolves career. Now he's actually being played in midfield. It's crazy to see what happens when a box-to-box midfielder is played in that role and not up top. However, Hwang, I'm really just not convinced. He threw himself about well in the Brighton game, but he cannot start. I simply don't understand why Vitor keeps persisting with it, other than the shirt sales and the influx of Korean fans. But this is an away fixture and they won't be present, so please go with the facts. Ideally, I'd like to see Tolu and Larsen start up top together. However, I doubt that's going to be the case. Arias will probably start. João Gomez, Andre will probably start. And I imagine we will go with the back four that seems to now be working after finally taking so long to find it, with Cressy, Santi, Chichachua, and Hugo Bueno. And Sam Johnstone in goal, who is really coming into his own this season.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think we have to stay in the back four. I think that's a certain. I don't want to see us move to a back five. I want to see us be brave.
I agree.
Throughout the whole game. Even if we do go a goal up, I don't want us to invite that pressure on. I think we look more solid, ironically, with two centre-backs than we do with three, with Cressy and Santi. But Jake, when you look at this Wolves team, what players worry you, if any, at this point?
Well, obviously you mentioned him. Well, you mentioned him already. Potentially out, but Strand Larsen. I mean, I know he was linked with the Mags in the summer, and I'm glad he didn't go there because I think he's a good player. So he's obviously a one that you're scared of. Whether he's going to play or not, I'm not sure. And then I know about the midfield too as well. The two Brazilians, I know how good they are as well. So, but like I said, every team in this league has got good players. You know what I mean? So there's always going to be a few players that you're wary of. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah. But I think there's more to be wary of on the Sunderland side, isn't there, Cam? I think names like, obviously, Granit Xhaka has been controlling midfield, and Andre and Gomez have really got their work cut out. Wilson Isidor's been amongst the goals once again in the Premier League, really making himself a nuisance. Cam, which players are you worried about coming up against?
Well, like you said, Isidore is a player I really think would be able to unlock this Wolves back line. He's the type of striker we tend to do quite badly against, as we've seen in our previous fixtures this season already. A forward who can not only score goals but link up with the attacking line often tends to cause threats for us. The likes of Adingra, while he hasn't necessarily hit form, is a player we all know the quality of. But my troubles do really come from Sunderland's defensive solidity for me, and their back line has absolute monstrous presence, and our forward line being quite small, quite weak physically, except for the likes of Tolu and Larson, who I will be unsure if they start or not. I think that's where our problems lie for this fixture, personally.
Yeah, it seems like a tough go to crack, Sunderland. And even if you do manage to get past that defence, they've got an outstanding goalkeeper between the sticks, it seems, at the minute in Roos.
Yeah. We could have got Sam Johnson over him as well. That's one we were linked with.
Well, Sam Johnson's coming into his own, so it might be a bit of a battle of the keepers on Saturday. But Jake, we've invited you onto South Bank Podcast. Now it's time to put you in a quite uncomfortable position of asking for a score prediction off you for Saturday.
Honestly, I know it's a cliche thing to say, but I reckon this will go anyway. Obviously, depending on what our team's actually going to look like, because I know I mentioned the injuries, but the thing with our manager as well, he's very adaptable. He's not one of them managers where he gets his 11 favourite players and goes, all right, you're going to play every single week. He changes based on the opponents. So, like, apart from your back four, back five, obviously with the keeper, the midfield when they're all fit, like the attacking line can vary based on the team. So it will be interesting to see the starting 11 we put out. And obviously, like you said, we are in injuries as well. But I think based on the games we've had at home so far this year, they've been, apart from Villa, there've been teams around us who people think are going to be around us, like West Ham and Brentford, and we've beat both of them. And like you say, the atmosphere and stuff. So I don't know if I want to be like a little bit negative, but I don't think we'll get beat personally. I'd like to say we're going to win. So I'll say we'll. I'll go with 2-0 Sunderland win. Just more.
I knew it was coming.
In optimism than anything, to be honest. But I think it could quite easily, if you get an early goal, the crowd could turn potentially, and I think it could also quite easily be one like a draw. Honestly, I think it could go anywhere.
Tom?
I'm not as optimistic. However, both of these teams so far, we've had quite low scoring games actually. Obviously, disregarding our opening day battering by Man City, both of us, is in Wolves and Sunderland, have had under 3 goals in pretty much all our fixtures so far. So I feel like a draw is highly likely here on Saturday. And I'm going to go with just a solid 1-1. I wouldn't mind that going into a fixture against Burnley, which also puts us 4 unbeaten and hopefully gives us a better chance of getting a win at home.
Yeah. Well, we've had a Sunderland win and a draw, so I think it's only fair for me to go for Wolverhampton win. So...
But that shows what I said. It could literally go anywhere. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've not all just seen those predictions because I'm a Sunderland fan and Jacob, you're a Wolves fan. Like, it could quite easily be any of those.
Yeah. But I think, admittedly, mine is a bit of heart over head. Of course, me and Cameron will be making Virginia League Sunderland. What I'm very excited for.
Yeah. I'm not excited for the 4-hour coach ride.
No. Well, I think the coach ride might end up being more fun than before, but I'm going to hope not. I'm going to go 2-1 to Wolves, I think. And this is the one, instead of late agony, I think it's going to be late jubilation. I'm going to think a Toluan Akradare late winner on Saturday.
Oh, stop it, you. Stop it, you.
Bit hopeful. But
I absolutely hear that.
Oh, don't get me excited. Saying that, Sunderland have been getting all the late goals so far this season, and I could easily see late heartbreak.
No, it's going to turn at some point, like.
That's why it could flip. At any point, it's got to flip. Our luck's got to change, you'd hope. But, yeah, but we're not done there. It's time for some trivia to fill our international break. This will all be linked to either Sunderland or Wolves. Feel free to play along at home. Leave in the comments how you did. We're going to start with some guess the player, obviously. I'll read out the rules. I will read each club this player has played for, what year they started their career. If they played for Sunderland or Wolves, I'll read out their appearances and their goals. But the others will just be the club. Is everyone straight with rules? Can we?
I got it.
Is there any questions before we start?
All good?
No. Ready to go.
Best of luck to the both of you. We're starting now. Also, you get one guess per team. You don't have to use it, but once you have that one guess, if you're incorrect, you're frozen out until the next team is read out.
Right. Cool.
So our first player started at Christchurch in 1992. Any suggestions?
Wow.
Not got a guess for that. Like.
No clue.
They then moved to Cambridge United in 1993.
No.
Then following that, a loan to Woking. Then in 1997, they joined Sunderland, making 146 appearances with 2 goals.
Oh God.
Any guesses?
May I ask a bit of a cheat? I'm not sure if this is a cheat question. Did they play for Wolves as well?
We will come to that later on.
I think I might know who this is.
You want to give it a shot in the dark because
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till you say if they play for Wolves or not.
okay, so whilst they were at Sunderland, in their second season, they went out on loan to Sheffield United, making 10 appearances and scoring 0 goals.
I think I need one more team and I might have got it.
Then in 2000, no guesses.
Nah.
In 2003, they joined Wolverhampton Wanderers, making 215 appearances.
He's got in before me.
Beat.
As well.
Cam?
It's Jody Craddock.
It is indeed Jody Craddock.
Yes.
It's 1-0 to Cameron.
Got the buzzer in
Very
before
well
me.
played, boys.
Very happy with that.
Well done.
So we move on to our second player. This player started their career at Baldock Town in 1991.
No.
No idea. These early ones.
Yeah.
They then moved from Baldock to Watford. And then in 1997, they put on the red and white stripes of Sunderland, making 208.
Yes, because I know that Watford to Sunderland in 1997 is Kevin Phillips.
It is Kevin Phillips.
Oh,
well
very
done.
nice one.
It is indeed Kevin Phillips. Levels the score. Or guess for player. Our next
1-1.
started their career in 2003 at Sporting de Portugal B team.
This could be any one of your Portuguese players.
Yeah. They then got called up to the Sporting main team in 2004, where they played 164 games, scoring 21 goals.
Oh gosh! Wow.
They then made the sacrilegious move of going to FC Porto from Sporting.
Oh, I don't think Shalmatinho.
It is indeed João Martino, Cameron.
Yes. I know that man's career off by heart.
In the lead. I thought the next one would give it away, Monaco.
Yeah, it would have.
Really gives it away. Obviously, we've had a few players Sporting and Porto.
The thing is, not many players have actually crossed that channel of Sporting to Porto, and Shalmatinho is one of the few who has and is still loved by both sets of fans, which I'm very aware of. Yeah.
Should have known that. I've got a Sporting flag hung up as well. Should have done my research on some Sporting players.
So we've got 2 more. So if Jake gets this, it's levels and goes to a tiebreaker. Cam, if you get this, you are the king of the guest of player for this round. So our next player started at Liverpool in 2011. They then moved on loan. Guess.
Connor Cody.
Oh my God!
It is indeed Connor Cody.
Yes.
That's unbelievable.
Any
from
chance?
Cameron Gorman here.
As soon as I heard the word loan, I knew it was going to be Sheffield United, wasn't it? Connor Cody.
Yeah. So it was a loan Sheffield United, then a permanent move in 2014 to Huddersfield Town, before joining Wolves in 2015, making 273 appearances for Wolves before moving to Everton, Leicester and Wrexham.
This is a slight problem when you're on a Wolves podcast, Jake.
Well, I knew his career path. I know his team's after Wolves, but I couldn't think before.
To be fair, going off just Liverpool and getting it is...
No, that is good.
Well played. You know, he's only made one
just instantly came to mind, though. Really? Wow, that's shocking. I thought it was a brilliant signing at the time, but apparently he's been quite poor in that one game he did play.
He didn't play too well in that game.
We've got one last guess.
Do the last one for a pity point.
Yeah. Just for pride. This player started their career in 2019 at Atalanta, making 4 appearances and scoring 1 goal?
I don't think we've had too many players from Atlanta, so I'm gonna guess.
There you go.
That's right, from Atlanta. I'm gonna go with Ahmad.
It is indeed Amad Diallo.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Hero.
So
Which, I mean, to be fair,
yes, and they both come through.
Don't fall in love with a lone player.
oh,
At the end of the best player, the scores on the doors: Cameron Gorman 3, Jake Cooper 2.
for the mate.
It's it.
So the next one, we've got a kind of guess the goal score, guess the event kind of thing. So I'm going to read out a Sunderland versus Wolves match from the past.
Ooh, okay.
And ask you to predict a certain goal or event. It's maybe a red card, an own goal, etc., etc. So we start with the last time Wolves and Sunderland met. It ended Sunderland 3, Wolves 0. The first goal was scored by Ovi Ajaria for Sunderland. The second goal was somehow scored by Ashley Fletcher.
I remember that one.
Probably one of the only goals he ever scored, to be honest.
That's what I mean. I don't quite know how we managed to concede that goal, but
was it Paddy McNair with the third?
You haven't even let him get on it.
The third goal.
Oops, sorry, I may have just skipped the question.
Oh, well, it is Paddy McNair because
yeah,
it would be Paddy McNair.
Should we say 1-1 for that because I did kind of go early?
We'll void it because we've got 2 left.
All right.
So we have got 2 more, and we're going to wait for the question to be read out this time, Cameron. We're not going to jump the gun.
Apologies.
So,
is this a buzzer game or are we both going to have a guess?
do you think doing buzzers will be an easier way of doing it?
Go with it.
Both just have a guess.
So whoever gets it, shout beep or buzz.
Right, okay.
I'll go with beep.
The last time Wolves faced Sunderland at Monaco in the Premier League, it ended 2-1 to Wolves. Sunderland's goal scored by Kieran Richardson. Both Wolves' goals were scored by the same player.
Buzz. I remember this because he used to play for us, and he always used to score against Stephen Fletcher.
It is Stephen Fletcher, and it's a point to Jake Cooper.
Beaten to the buzz.
It's all about the buzz, mate.
So
we had Wayne Hennessy in goal that day.
If you equalise here, then if this is a draw round and you are around ahead in the trivia, Jake, if you win, then
1 apiece.
1 apiece.
Cool.
So
just a question for Jake, quick. Wasn't Nicholas Bentner playing for you at that point, if I remember correctly?
When that
Lord Bentner.
What in that?
I'm pretty sure he played in that fixture.
I'm pretty sure that was around his time. Yeah, Lord Bentner.
Blast to the past. Apologies, Jacob. Carry on.
No, it's not a problem. I enjoy the conversation. So I want to cast your minds back to a cold December's night. Well, I think it's a free kick actually, but a horrible game nonetheless. In 2017, Wolves 0, Sunderland 0. What a horrible game!
Entertaining game that
But that
was terrible. I remember that very well.
There's a red card in this game.
Sorry.
Oh no.
Question, but is it you're going to ask who got the red card?
Who got the red card?
Well, there was a certain time, and we had a man who liked to get a lot of red cards.
No.
So I'm going to go. Is it Lee Barry Cattermole?
It is.
It is indeed Lee Cattermole.
He loved the red card.
I remember that. It was an awful challenge.
I'm going to look up his. I'm going to look up his.
Rolled up. Is it Cavallero's shin? I want to say.
I think so.
I want to say
because it was Caballero, Bonatini, and I think John Scotland that day. Yeah. Pretty sure Costa was still injured around the time coming back from injury. Might have been on the bench.
Oh, he only got 8 red cards in his career. I was expecting more.
Thought he got 8 in 16 weeks.
I'm not sure. That's just what AI reckons. So.
Or maybe you were just present for all of them.
Probably. 88 yellow cards just in the Premier League. So
that's crazy.
Oh, actually 95. So he liked the card.
For this last game, you two are going to turn from enemies to teammates. Because now we're playing higher or lower, and this will be based on appearances.
Okay.
There's going to be one Wolves player, one Sunderland player, and you need to predict who's got more appearances for, obviously, Wolves or Sunderland, who made more for either club. Makes sense.
Right.
Are you guys ready?
Ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
So, the first one, quite an easy one. Ruben Neves of Wolves or James Vaughan of Sunderland. Who got the highest?
Just Ruben Neves.
Ruben.
James Vaughan had 23 appearances for Sunderland.
Yeah, definitely Ruben.
Neves had 219.
Nowhere near.
So, obviously, Ruben Neves, 219 appearances. Lamine Kone at Sunderland, higher or lower? Discuss amongst yourselves.
I think Kone is still lower. He was out longer than James Vaughan was. He was there for a couple of seasons. But pretty sure he was one of them that left when we went down. So did he still...
I was always gonna say lower, just because Neves is one of our highest appearance holders in recent years, especially. And if you're saying it, I'm definitely gonna go with it. We're gonna lock in with lower, please, Jake.
Locking with lower, yeah. So Ruben Neves, 219 appearances. Lamine Kone, 69 appearances.
Still a nice one.
So,
It's a considerable amount.
higher or lower? Ruben Neves or John O'Shea at Sunderland?
Oh,
Ruben Neves, 219 appearances.
that's an interesting one.
That is an interesting one. Now, how many games did he play?
I think that's
he was there. He was there about 7 years, I want to say, at Sunderland.
There a while. I think that's very close.
Was he injury prone or not? That's also a question.
Really,
did he have any loans?
I think he's pretty solid now because we got him like a bit further towards the end of his career, I think. So
yeah, after United, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think that could be very close. What did you say Neves was? 219?
219.
I think it could be higher. How many years was Neves at Wolves?
From 2018 to 2023.
So going, 5 years compared to... Was O'Shea us for 7 years? I'm doubting myself now.
I think it was from like...
First guess was higher, but now I'm doubting myself.
You got to think Neves also played a championship season, so there's more games in a championship.
And Europe. And in the cup. Are we counting cup competitions towards both of these?
Right, but we also...
I've got Wikipedia, so I believe so.
We obviously also played in the cup, and we got to the cup final in that time as well. Oh, so did Neves, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, we got it.
But he also had Europe as well.
Yeah.
And we got into the quarters.
I think higher, but
my instinct is lower. But I'm also...
I'm the exact same. Like, I don't mind going for lower if you want to go for lower, but I do think it's higher.
What are we locking in, boys?
Shall I flip a coin?
I think that might be the only way. I think higher. My first guess was higher. Should we just go higher?
Higher? Let's just go higher.
Higher.
We'll go
Ruben
higher.
Neves, 219. John O'Shea, 226. It is higher.
Oh,
that is very close.
Phew, that is clutch.
So, John O'Shea, you're doing well here, boy. You've got 2 left. John O'Shea, 226 appearances. Higher or lower, Richard Stearman, and this is including both of his 10 years at Wolves.
I've got no idea.
That's a really tough one. Personally,
I think it's all on you, Cam. I've got no idea about his appearances, but I do know that 220, whatever O'Shea's was, is pretty high.
See, if it's counting both 10 years at the club, then I feel like...
The second one was only a loan for half a season, I remember.
How long?
True, but it adds a considerable amount. He was with us from 2008 to 15 or 16, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, he left me at 14.
There was a loan, wasn't there?
Came back at 15,
there was a loan
16.
to Ipswich, I'm pretty sure, though. Let me think. He was ever present for us, though. Not many injuries.
So he was there about 7 years, 6 years.
The half a season loan. He played about 20 games, I want to say.
Yeah, so I hope you are a bit.
Something like that.
Came at 2008, left in 2015, went on loan to Ipswich,
Yeah.
and then came back for half a season in the
From
16-17 season.
How many appearances was the last player? Sorry.
Last player, John O'Shea, 226.
Oh, that's really tough. That is really tough.
I'm just trying to think based off like
it's going to be really fine margins. I reckon it's within. I reckon they're within at least 10 of each other either way. Counting both tenures at the club, I reckon that loan spell just pushes him over the edge. You know, otherwise, I reckon if it was just his first tenure at the club, I reckon O'Shea's higher. That's my instinct.
I'll go with that. I'm not too sure about Stearman's appearances, so if you're sure on that, we'll go with that.
Lock it in higher.
I'm gonna go with Steers higher. Yeah.
So John O'Shea, 226 appearances. Richard Stearman, 229 appearances. It is higher by 3.
That is ridiculously close.
That is ridiculous. I said within 10, but 3. That is outrageous.
Insanely close.
Good work, I didn't have a clue on that one.
I got quite lucky there with that 3 appearance difference.
Yeah.
So you've got one more, and then you're home and dry.
Oh, this is the tough one.
5 out of 5.
Richard Stearman, 229 appearances. Higher or lower? Jack Colback.
That's lower. I think that's lower.
He was at
I'm gonna lock. If you're that confident, I'm gonna lock him.
The thing is, he came through our academy.
He was at Hughes a while. He was at Hughes a while.
And I know he came through the academy, but I feel like it's one of them with a youngster. Like, is that a lot of years of like sitting on the bench or just playing in cup games or just playing in like having the odd sub appearance and playing in the under 21s? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think the years equate to the amount of appearances. If that makes sense.
I would hope so.
He left it join the Mags, but that's it. We'll forget that.
You know what? If you're that confident, I will happily lock him.
I just think, what was it, 229? That's the highest we've had so far.
I think that's a really tough number to beat.
I don't think Jack Colback was at Sunderland has more appearances than John O'Shea does for us. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think,
let's go with lower. Jacob, we would like to lock in with lower.
So, if this is right, you've completed all 5. Very impressive. 5 for 5. Make a good team if it comes true. Richard Stearman, 229 appearances. Jack Colback, 115 is lower.
Yes.
Lower.
Wow, that was well lower.
Nice one.
Well done. I'll try to
very nice. Very happy with that, Jake.
Very good.
We make a good team.
We do make a good team. So the conclusion comes to the player champion is Cameron Gorman. The goal scorer, stroke event in the game winner is our guest, top 4 tiers Jake Cooper. And ultimately, teamwork makes the dream work because you've gone 5 for 5 in that lower game.
Pretty similar.
I think
very nice.
About wraps up a very different episode of the South Bank podcast. But I'll tell you what, I've enjoyed it, guys. I think it's been.
You know what? Thank you for the hard work you put in to make that, Jacob. That was very fun to play, and I'm sure Jake will say the same.
And now, because that's a draw, it all relies on the actual match.
Yeah, so the ultimate winner comes out of that. But it's been a very friendly affair today. Join us after Sunderland next week, where we'll be back to our miserable selves. The smile will be off Cameron's face, and it'll be turned upside down. But hopefully not. Hopefully it'll be more smiley because Wolves have come away with a win. But a massive thank you to Jake. Jake, is there anywhere that you wish for people to find you on social media?
Well, obviously, as you've mentioned, the top 4 tiers is top 4 tiers on Instagram and TikTok. But I suppose personally, hold on, I'm just getting me Twitter up there. Twitter's Jake SCFC2508. I mean, I mainly just talk about Sunderland, to be fair, so I'm not sure any of your audience will care. But sometimes I don't, so that's about it, really. But no, thanks for having us on. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on. Cam, you've got your own personal social medias now where a lot of your journalism work goes now, I believe.
I do. That is Cam Can't Talk Ball, because as you listeners know on the podcast, I really can't. So please go follow. That would be appreciated.
Forgot about that.
Come back to Jake.
Yeah, the TikTok as well. It's just Jake CFC. You reminded us of TikTok there. But that existed.
All my socials are the same, and on my profiles of whatever social media, you can find my link tree to find the others.
Yeah, and for me, you can find me on Twitter at Jones23741. Occasionally I post something good, not usually. And of course, you can find the Southbank Podcast socials at SouthbankPod77 on all socials, I believe.
No, that's just on X. The Southbank Podcast on Instagram. TikTok, I believe it's also Southbank Pod 77.
Yeah, and a good point. We will be more active on TikTok soon. We've been promising.
Got some content to be filmed.
And we're getting previews out on the website sometime this week and reviews. We're here. The Southbank Podcast to the moon. Thank you very much to Jake Cooper. And I've been your host, Jacob Jones. And thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you very much, and goodbye.
This is KIC Radio.